Manji, when I last spoke to you, it must have been 2 or 3 months ago, and everyone was talking about the Ebola story, but you said it was still very much contained to West Africa. That has now gone. Are the spillover effects, are they uncontrollable in a way?
I mean, I think, I still maintain my view that, this is still largely contained in West Africa. I mean, if ultimately you have to put it into context. I mean, we've got a couple of cases outside the West African region, and it's quite clear from the cases in Senegal and Nigeria that, if you get isolated cases, you still can get containment to a level of success, actually.
President Obama is saying that the U.S. is working on new screenings, but they haven't put in place a U.S. travel ban yet. Do you think that would be wise in terms of stemming the outbreak further?
I mean, I think, that's just a populist kind of policy to put in place, because let's face it, I mean, the number of direct flights from these countries, and particularly the capitals, to the Western world are so limited in comparison to the frequency of flights all over the world. So a travel ban, I mean, people can still go through 4 countries to get to the United States or even to Britain. I mean, I don't actually think that that's going to be an effective policy at all.
To me, the concerning aspect has been that this Spanish nurse has contracted the virus. When I spoke to the WHO a while ago, I was asking how doctors working in West Africa had managed to contract the disease, because presumably they were taking every precaution. But at that stage, they said to me, well, the conditions are very tough, it's hot, they work in extreme heat, accidents basically happen. But how does it happen in a country like Spain?
To be honest, I mean, if you remember, when I was here about 2 months ago, I talked about public awareness being one of the critical issues, and I still think it's, it's just as relevant in Africa as it is here. And the fact that, public health officials are still not kind of fully aware of, people that could be considered at high risk, and people that what the symptoms could be. I mean, that potentially could be one of the reasons for why we've had a contraction outside the region.
In terms of the drugs available, I mean, obviously people are pointing to ZMapp, TKM Ebola, Chimerix has got a drug as well. How far are we away from having mass production of some form of antidote to this? Because ZMapp, we understand there are no doses around, or very limited doses around now, having used on various patients, but it does seem to have had a degree of success as well.
Well, I mean, I think, the medical advice at the moment is that we need to be quite cautious as to kind of attributing recovery to ZMapp. There are cases where people have actually recovered without the use of the experimental drugs, and I think it's still very early stages. There's still kind of ethics committees actually debating this. So, it's quite clear that we don't have enough kind of experimental drugs for the number of cases that we've got. And I think at the moment, you just simply have to go with kind of best medical practice in terms of dealing with the viral outbreak.